how can we create a conversation on social starting from the first ever interaction of a stranger to our story, to a post that we did or a live video, without repelling them because we want too much too soon, and rather build on that trust that this person is showing us by interacting for the very first time with a piece of content of ours. Hello and welcome. I'm excited you're here. In case we haven't met before, my name is Katrin from Bloom with Katrin. I'm coming live to you from the beautiful Bavarian forest over here in Germany. I hope you're having an amazing day. And if you're on live with me or on the replay, let me know where you're tuning in from, because I'm looking forward to getting to know you a little bit better later on. So I'm here to help you take your side gig and turn it into an online business that you love, because you're going to feel good on the inside doing it. Okay. And this actually comes into play very much because this is something that used to hold me back, because I don't know about you, but I've been on the receiving end of a ton of messages that didn't make me feel good on the inside, if that's okay if I share that with you, right? But that were rather, okay, awesome, thanks for reaching out, here's my link, you'd be perfect for what I do, are you okay with checking out a video, or even right with the link to the video right in that first message. I'm like, well, if this is building online, I'm just not cut out for this. So if you can relate to this, let me know, because I'm going to share with you a few tips that might change that game for you. Okay. So I'm actually going to use an analogy because I like to think in pictures. It helps me remember things better. So I hope that's going to be helpful for you as well. So I love to garden. I love my plants. I love my flowers. And it's an exciting moment, isn't it, when you've planted a seed into the ground, into Mother Earth, right? And then that little seedling starts popping out of the ground. Let me know whether you've ever experienced that. This, oh, it's going to work. It's actually, showing that it's alive and that it's growing, right? It's an amazing moment. It's quite the same really on social media. That little seedling popping out of the ground is really the first interaction of a stranger for me. Okay, so it's an exciting moment. Now, what do we do? Now, here's what often happens, unfortunately way too often to my liking, is like people start over fertilizing that little seedling that's just popping up, saying, oh, hi, for the very first time. That's a little seedling just, popping out of the ground. Let's not over fertilize it by giving them too much information too quickly, too soon, because we want too much. It will be like really going to that little seedling popping out of the ground and really putting that fertilizer on it in hopes that it's going to be growing into a huge tree or plant right away. And it's not how it goes, right? It doesn't work in nature, and it doesn't work on social media neither, at least to my experience. Let me know whether you agree. So here's the thing, and here's actually what can happen as well, and it's actually what happened to me quite a bit. So I got the first interaction from a stranger on live video, on a post, on a story. I was like, oh, now what do? I don't want to become that, over fertilizing person. So I'm just not going to do anything, right? And that's not very effective neither, is it? It's really letting that little seedling just popping out of the ground die. Because what does it need? Well, it needs access to sunlight, right? It needs rain, and it does need a bit of fertilizing, of nurturing, I would like to call it. Okay, so what might that look like on social? So tip number one is less is more. Is it an exciting moment? And I get it if you go like, well, Katrin, that's really cute what you're telling me here, like about the fertilizing. I'm here to build my business. I want to, grow my customer base. I want to grow my team. So I need to reach out to people, and I would absolutely agree with you. But again, let's make sure that we nurture that little seedling, right? Let's nurture that instead of over fertilizing it, if that's okay with you. Okay, so less is more. Now, how might that look like? Say you get your first hi, Katrin, right? And if you want to, you can just pop that down there, and I'd be excited. Okay, so you can pop you receive that. You receive the first interaction from a stranger, somebody who's never reached out to you before. Going hi and your first name. Okay, let's just take mine as an example. Hi, Katrin, it's there. And I go, oh, exciting moment, awesome. That means that this person might have been following you for quite some time. They've built enough trust towards you to dare say hello. That's a public thing. People can see that, right? That's a hurdle that they've overcome. That's really, it shows that they trust you to some degree already, okay? So it is an exciting moment, absolutely. So how might we make sure that this little seedling is going to get enough sunlight and rain? So here we go. React with an appropriate emoji directly on the comment, okay? Maybe, choose whichever color you wish, from those emoji reactions that you can choose from. Make it an appropriate one and go hi with their first name back. Lovely to have you here. Lovely to see you here. Thank you for reaching out. Something like that, okay? And maybe leave it there. Or if you want to make sure that it does get a little bit more of fertilizing, you might want to, come back with an open-ended question that might lead to an interaction and a real conversation with that person, maybe over a messenger. And here's what happens to me a lot. Let me know whether you can relate. So, right, I leave somebody a comment and they take me over to their messenger. And now is the time where they start over fertilizing me, right? If that analogy works for you, let me know. So now is the time for, oh, you'd be perfect. I've been watching you. I don't know. I've received a couple of messages like this, and I'm really going, well, that's not really what I asked for, is it? Right? So let's not jump on people. Let's not be that used car salesperson jumping on everybody. Okay? Let's invite people in, even if we take the conversation to Messenger. It's an amazing place to really interact with people and really get to know them, right? People open up more easily in Messenger than they do on a page or on your personal profile in the comments. Obviously, makes sense, right? So it does make sense to take the conversation into Messenger, absolutely, but not to now jump on them, to now over-fertilize that little seedling that's just popping up a bit more because they're okay with us taking the conversation into Messenger, but rather like asking them an open-ended question. Like I've written down some notes if I'm looking down, that's why, because I really want to get this over to you because it's so important. So we don't let that seedling die because we don't know what to say, and we don't over fertilize it so it dies as well, and we never hear back from these people again, right? So maybe that's a few days, weeks later when this person, because we put a smile on their face by responding to their first comment. So we responded, hi, Jane, lovely to see you here. I'm excited you're here, right? And so that's going to put a smile on their face, and they're going to come back for more. They want to be nurtured, right? Because we made them feel good. So at some point, they're going to come back, leave another comment, and maybe now you're ready to take it into Messenger. And now you could even do this in a comment publicly, I think, as well. Just, don't copy the words necessarily, but make it your own. But come from a place of where you can go something like this: hey, I've never seen you before, or awesome, I've been seeing you for a few weeks now on my page. I'm excited to meet you. What inspired you to hop on my live today? Or what inspired you to connect with me? Okay. And then see where that leads. Maybe they won't respond. That's okay. Life can happen. Doesn't mean that they necessarily now, you did something wrong. Might just mean that something came up with them. They're going to come back because you make them feel good, right? At some point, you're going to get something. Maybe it's a one word, valuable, whatever. Now, again, so it was valuable. Now, again, you might get excited again. Okay, now it's time for my link, isn't it, Katrin? Well, I would say that would still be a bit of over-fertilizing at that point, right? How about asking them an open-ended question? What about it was valuable for you today? Always keep that conversation thread going. Tell me more. I'm curious. What exactly was it that was valuable, that was interesting, that was intriguing to you? Use the word that they give you. Okay? So, and really, and this is my last one for today, is this is something that a mentor of mine shared with me the other day, and I really resonated with it. That's like, always make sure that you're not, or your emotions aren't tied to the outcome of that conversation at that moment. Okay? So you start your conversation, you maybe follow, like the guidelines that I've been sharing with you today. Let me know if they're helpful, by the way. I'd be really intrigued to know whether this is helpful for you. Okay? So you started your conversation, you didn't let it die, that little seedling, and you didn't over-fertilize it. You just made sure that it's got access to sunlight, to rain as well a little bit, right? And maybe you put some fertilizer on it, but you didn't overdo it. So maybe that person, turns into a customer in your first messenger conversation. Awesome. Don't let that change your energy. If that person tells you no, or not now, or maybe the conversation dies down a little at that point, don't let it change your energy. Be cool. Keep your cool with that, whatever the outcome is. And even if you hear nothing back as well, don't let it get to you. Don't think that you've done something wrong or that you need to change your strategy. Just keep on building that relationship, that trust with that person by keeping on bringing awesome value that's going to help them in whatever their issue might be, so you can actually be the person delivering valuable information for them. So at some point, maybe a few weeks, maybe a few months down the line, maybe you do have something that you want to promote. And it might just happen that at that point, that person, that little seedling, is grown enough to actually now reach out to you, going, you know what, I'm ready now. Tell me more. And that, how would that feel for you if you didn't have to go after people telling them, I've got this amazing promo right now, but people trusting you enough to follow you for a certain period of time. Make sure you follow my page in case you haven't done so you don't miss any out of my mini training. And they actually come to you when they're ready, when the time is right for them, right? For the seedling to actually start blooming. Okay? So test it. Let me know how it goes. Let me know your thoughts, your experiences. I'd be interested, absolutely, to know how this goes for you. So just to recap, less is more. Don't make sure that you nurture your seedlings, okay? But you don't over-fertilize them. And make sure that you always keep that conversation going, that you're always in, that you always make people feel good, because that's what we remember, don't we? We don't necessarily, that's a mouthful. We don't necessarily, I'm not just going to say it again, but you know what I mean, right? We don't necessarily, got it? Remember the exact words that somebody used. But what we'll always remember is how somebody makes us feel. So let's make sure that we make our seedlings feel awesome, feel really good, so that they can continue to grow and bloom and come to fruition when the time is right for them. Thanks so much for watching. Hope this was valuable. If you know people who might benefit from this, feel free to send the broadcast on its way to them so they as well can benefit from it. So their businesses, as well as yours, can start blooming. Thanks so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you again on Sunday. All the best from Katrin. Bye for now.